Welcome, Nothingers, to this special episode of the All About Nothing podcast, where Zach and I, along with Carrie, hostess of What the Pod Was That, and me of the Welcome to Wonderland podcast, and our dungeon master, Micah, dive headfirst into the world of trolls, dwarves, elves, magic, and more. This is the first episode in a series that will give an outside look into our battle against the forces of evil in this multi-podcast collaboration. So sit back, listen, and enjoy. Special thanks to the GOT Sound Studio for the space and equipment. Also special thanks to Micah, our dungeon master on this trip into fantasy. The All About Nothing podcast is proud to support the 2023 Soda City Comic Con. August 19th and 20th, join thousands of fans of fantasy, comics, science fiction, anime, classic games, pinball, and much, much more as they descend upon the Columbia Metropolitan Convention Center. 1-day and 2-day tickets are now available for your chance to meet Sean Astin. As well, you can meet actor 90s heartthrob Vanessa Angel. Plus, you'll meet voice actors from your favorite anime series like Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, One Piece, and many more. Visit theallaboutnothing.com for links to more information and ticket information. The 2023 Soda City Comic Con is a premier pop culture experience in South Carolina. Get your tickets now. Visit theallaboutnothing.com for details.
It's been a tough week for the Fireflies, who have lost their first 5 games against the Carolina Mudcats. Despite the rough go at it, there have been some fantastic performances to look at. Omar Hernandez started yesterday's game on a high note with this home run.
A hard hit ball to left field, Nicasia to the track, and he's out of room! Omar Hernandez with his 5th home run of the season, and Columbia takes a 2-0 lead. Looking like the Hulk to start off Marvel Defenders of the Diamond Knight.
Hayden Dunhurst and Diomi Salone have kept the catcher's room hot as each of Columbia's 3 backstops have homered since Thursday. From a pitching perspective, the Fireflies have had 2 big standout performances. Friday, Oscar Raya worked a career-best 5 2/3 scoreless innings, and he punched out 8 hitters to close out the game. And Ryan Ramsey continues to inch his way towards Fireflies history. After 5 1/3 scoreless innings last night, he has worked 25 1/3 consecutive innings without allowing a run, moving him up to the 3rd longest stretch in franchise history. Adonis Uceda worked 29 1/3 consecutive frames without allowing a run in 2017, and Matt Blackham followed him up with 26 2/3 straight later that year for the 2 longest marks in franchise history. After today's game, Columbia is going to head to Augusta for a 6-game series against the Green Jackets next week. From Columbia, I'm John Kosis.
The All About Nothing podcast
may have language and content that isn't appropriate for some.
Listener discretion is advised.
This is the All About Nothing podcast.
Okay, so Zach, Carrie, me, Barrett. You guys call him Gru?
Nope.
Okay. I don't know.
He might call himself Gru.
I don't know what you guys call me.
Gru?
Well, that's my character name.
But at work, it's just Barrett. So
is DJ Fuzzy now.
DJ Fuzzy.
That's okay.
Oh my god, that's great.
I am gonna need it.
How do you know I shave, sir?
Oh no, thank you.
Yeah, we asked my uncle on one episode. We asked my uncle, I was like, can you give him a name? He's like, yeah, DJ Fuzzy.
Alright, so let me hear you guys' background.
As our characters?
No, just you.
Oh.
I'm an alcoholic.
That's why I got that open with a screw and a hammer.
Is anybody here in a 12-step program?
No.
I don't have to worry about that. Okay. My wife was like, what if they are... What if where they came from? You need to bring something that is alcoholic, so I had to make up.
Oh.
We're not alcoholic.
Look at you, that's
I would totally make potions.
Yeah.
That's up my alley.
And they're in little potion bottles with corks and everything, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
I love it.
We're talking about me right now.
I
God. I'm an accounts
Carrie
manager.
Simmons.
Oh my god! I'm a massive nerd. I like everything D&D, but it usually is in the video game realm.
Yeah.
I love Diablo. I have Baldur's Gate 3. I'm just waiting for the full release in August. Big nerd, podcasting, video games, music, all of it.
Yeah, awesome.
I have a 2-year-old, and we're happy.
I love your Hellfire Club shirt.
Thank you.
So the thing about Stranger Things is that it's a very good interpretation, but it's just too good.
Yeah. I get that.
We're gonna try. We're gonna try to create that same kind of excitement today. I'm hoping.
And my main D&D like experience is the podcast. Like I listen to 3 different ones where they play Dungeons and Daddies,
D&D minus.
and D&D minus.
I don't listen to any of that.
Great.
I'm sure they are. I don't know why, and I think it has to do with the fact that I want to keep my storytelling mine
Right.
separate, which is, again, I'm going to try my best.
Yeah.
Okay, let me do this, and then as we go, we don't have to do this again.
Okay.
So what I did was I printed out your miniatures for your characters. You guys picked your characters first, other than Carrie, because she could figure it out. So I just
She couldn't figure it out this morning either, so we got her locked in now.
It takes a village.
Okay, so Zach created a dragonborn, which is the coolest of the different types of things.
Hell yeah.
A dragonborn is like a human that is part dragon, and I've given you 3 different poses. One is in battle, one is standing with their weapon or just standing around, and one is drinking.
Yes.
These are awesome.
Now I didn't make these, like I didn't model these, but I did get them to have their drink cups.
Yes.
That is cool.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. Can I see it?
Valorian Kilgore.
And your character is Valorian Kilgore,
Yes.
and he's a paladin that is like an anti-paladin almost,
Yes.
but he's still gonna do things with conviction, right?
Yes.
All right, so I gotta
Kind of like a jaded paladin.
right. He still has to.
That's
He has
cool.
to follow he's following something, but it's his own path.
It would probably be Baphomet, I guess, still.
Okay. So your guy's alignment is neutral, but you're telling me that he's like lawful good, or is he? I mean, lawful evil, or is he chaotic evil? What is he? You can't-
I don't think he's evil.
That's a good question.
I don't think he's evil.
So he's neutral, but he doesn't like following the.
Like the one trait that I put like on there is that he doesn't blind loyalty. He doesn't adhere to blind loyalty.
Okay, so he's skeptical.
Yeah.
All right, Kay. Tell me, you played D&D.
A long time ago, yeah.
Tell me about yourself. What's going on with that?
I just say you can talk into the mic too.
No. So Carrie Simmons. My kids are grown and gone out of the house.
Yay, mine are still at the house.
It's just me and the dogs. I've started a new job recently, and it's taken up a ton of my time, which bled over into.
Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
Right
Half the people in
here.
the world couldn't do what you had to do.
But I, until probably I would say the last 4 months, I was heavy into gaming. I really love Warcraft. I still play Warcraft.
You're addicted then.
Yeah, but I haven't played since I think probably this.
Did
this
you
year.
join a group so that you could maybe get out of being addicted? Like
No. I actually probably am borderline hermit now. I come out of the house to do the podcasting, to do this, and then honestly, about 5 minutes before I leave, I think about canceling. So that is how.
Well, I'm glad that you made it, because that is one of the biggest problems with Dungeons and Dragons is scheduling. Everyone will say that they can't get groups together. The last group that I did was 8 teenage boys,
Wow.
and they were just graduating high school, and so they were excited about all their going. You know, everyone would talk about going to school next year, and what they were planning on doing. It was really kind of fun to hear all that, and it was really, really hard to get them to schedule. When they wanted to play was after 10 on Fridays.
Oh,
10 p.m.
PM.
Can't do it.
Wow.
You know, I am very excited for this, and I hope we can do it again. So it's been a long time since I've done any gaming at all. So I'm just elated.
Okay.
So
Excellent.
hopefully we'll
Okay.
be able to
So
do it again.
I'm sorry I picked your character.
No, don't be so. I appreciate it, because if you didn't pick it, it probably never would have gotten picked.
Right, so I first made
She's a badass, so.
Oh, cool.
I first made you a guy berserker, because that's the only model I have. But then I found a cool lady berserker, female, non-male, and it was really cool because I didn't have this one before. And she looks pretty tough.
Yeah, she does. Thank you.
You picked the name though, Silu, which is. Does that have any? Nothing. Doesn't mean nothing. Good. That's the way I do it too.
Is that a head?
She's carrying a head in one of them.
Chopped off head.
We'll refer to you as
Oh,
soccer
she
solid.
is.
And then there's a mug. And
So
then
bleeding.
those are great. Thank you so much.
And you painted these.
I painted all these.
Yeah.
I printed them out on my 3D printer.
I was gonna ask if you ask if
I am addicted to 3D printing.
That's awesome.
these are great. Thank you.
Yeah. I use 3D printers. Almost every week I print something. I've gotten in a lot of trouble.
I was like, what does the wife say about this?
Where are you going to keep all this crap?
I have a friend who bought one, and Rob, who years ago, he spent a lot of money on it, and he does dolls. He travels and does doll shows. It's a big thing where you dress. They look like so he's been to Paris and all over, and he actually
So he 3D prints parts of the dolls.
3D prints.
So he gets exactly
shoes.
what he wants.
Right, he 3D prints.
And then he paints them.
Mm-hmm. And
That's
paints
awesome.
them, and then he plugs the hair in there like Barbie dolls. I would never say that if he was here, but
No, but that's what they're like. They are like that.
they look just like, but they're just glamorous. It's really cool. So
like they have like almost a photorealistic quality, right?
Yes.
Those are so cool.
yes,
Mm.
it's a whole thing. I never knew that it was he's got a real gift.
Yeah, I don't. I am not good.
So
at
Boston Rob went from being a cop.
No.
I was just kidding.
Not that
I was
Rob.
just kidding. Yeah.
Pat and Rob and Charlotte.
I molded.
That's a terrible plan.
I didn't do it.
What'd you do?
I thought he just hid the vent with this, but he put drywall in it.
Well, it doesn't look like he sealed it up or screwed it in.
Thank you
Maybe
again.
just
That
dragged
was
it
very
in.
nice.
No problem. If it wouldn't.
How's it in there?
That's just great.
Pushed in there.
I think my favorite one is where she's holding the head.
That's a little poor orc head.
I'll turn.
And that's the way it came, right? With the and I'm like, I can't have all the time. Why are you carrying this around with you all the time?
I love it.
Do you need this?
I think we should make the heads a trinket somehow, and it
Okay.
gives us like
That's a good
some
idea.
holy power or some spirit or mana regen or whatever. I don't know, right? But something. maybe I walk faster or get a little more agility.
We will find something for that. I promise.
I
Now
love
the thing
it.
about the miniatures is that this game can be played multiple ways, right? It can be played all theater in mind, and that's what a lot of the podcasts do, theater in mind. But then if you watch Acquisitions Incorporated, I watch a little bit of that because I'm an old Penny Arcade fan. You guys know Penny Arcade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Penny Arcade is Jake, John, Krulik, and Mike. I can't remember his last name. These guys, they started as just two kids who did comics, and now they run the biggest gaming conventions
Yeah.
ever.
The comics are great too.
Oh yeah, the comics have always been the best, right? So, and it's just interesting that they even have their own D&D book, which is you go from living in BFE near Portland to having your own D&D book. Those guys are just living the charmed life, right?
Yeah.
So Carrie, I hope that you do well. So basically, with the Berserker, if you know what that is, it's tank.
Mm-hmm.
Tank damage dealer. You understand those terms?
I do. You know what? Typically, I don't do melee very much, but I'm excited to step out of my comfort zone.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get out there and swing
Yep.
that axe.
I'll do it.
Okay. Now, you have to. My mother named me Micah, but that's not even the worst one she did. My brother's name is Jorma.
Yeah, I've heard of yours.
Jorma Kakkonen, who's a guitarist for an old band called Hot Tuna, which is the worst kind of music you've ever heard in your life because it is honky tonk blues,
I love it.
and I can't listen to 1 minute of it.
Oh.
But it is a genre, and it is good, but I can't stand it.
Well, you can introduce another Yorma that's in a band, Lonely Island, with Andy Samberg.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Andy Samberg, and I think I don't know. It's Norwegian or Hebrew. I don't know what it is, but I love my brother, but I can't stand that band. Amy, you got to tell me the story about your name then.
There's nothing cool to it, really. My mom was 18 when I was born, and Ami is French for friend. and she thought that I was just going to be her little friend. Wanted to spell it a little differently, so she threw an extra I on the end instead of an E. But she's a very unique lady.
We're in the Young
that's
Moms
cool.
Club. Same here.
So, yeah. So that's all that is. And then she put my sister and brother and I in alphabetical order. So I was
We're
first.
at A, B to C.
Yes, we are.
The same thing in my family.
Yep.
I know people who do all H's. Every single one of them have the same monogram.
Yeah, I know that too.
Oh, really?
Hannah Hector, Henry Hector.
So you can pass down your monogram stuff.
Adam-
Like you don't have to buy
Adam
new
and
ones.
Jason, they named their kids Hank Howell and Hallie Howell.
I did CS for my ex-husband, and both my boys and myself are all CS initials.
I've made this argument before, but anyone that names their child after a city or a state has basically just given up. There was no original. Their kids named Montana and Dakota, and I just look at them
But
like
Dakota's kind of cool. It's kind of rugged. Like if it's a little
shouldn't
cute
even be a
cowboy
state.
with
Shouldn't
his-
even be a state. Shouldn't even be a
his
state.
shirt off, hammering a spike into a railroad or something. I don't know.
He's like 7.
Oh no!
He's not 7.
Well, he was 7.
Yeah, but he's like 17
Let's
now.
ask Carrie. Carrie, what?
What is
how
it?
old
What
is
it?
the
Is it
Dakota in
my-
your mind with the shirt
Like
off?
mid 20s.
Oh, okay.
not
We're not talking about Dakota Fanning.
Is she still 12?
No, she's
So-
a lot older now.
Amy, how much gaming have you done?
So I've never done Dungeons and Dragons. Grew up with a lot of people who did. My friends and everything. I played Final Fantasy 11, so that was.
It's the Japanese version of role playing, right? It's a lot of, but lots of honor and all kinds of weirdness.
But so I played Final Fantasy 11 online. But other than that, pretty light. Like I don't do a whole lot of gaming. I'm nerd adjacent, so
Okay.
I enjoy nerdy things, but I don't dive deep into really any of them.
Did she point at you and I?
Yeah, she's next to you guys. That's why she's adjacent.
I'm nerd adjacent.
All right.
I let my nerd flag fly.
Well, and my husband is like you've never met him. You would really like him. But
You're not Michael, right? Michael?
Once, yeah.
but my husband is
drinking.
into
The baseball game.
Oh,
Me
yeah, that's
trying
right.
to talk.
comic books and video games and
What was he wearing?
probably a Zelda shirt.
I think it actually was.
All right, so you chose, which is a really like an iconic D&D type character, as a halfling or a hobbit. They can't say hobbits in D&D because it's. But I think that's always very interesting when people choose hobbits or halflings because it's harder. You're a smaller person.
Yeah.
You have to actually run fast to keep up with the party. You actually don't have the same movement speed as everyone else. Did you know that? That's the difference.
They're
you can
faster,
carry me.
right? They're a lot faster, right?
No, they're short. Their legs aren't as long, so they're short. they're slower.
Double timing it everywhere.
So okay, I'm thinking about the WoW, the little people in WoW that I'm getting mixed up.
So maybe the little people in a while might go
That's
faster.
what I'm thinking about a gnome.
Gnomes?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so Amy, you chose Druid, which is also an interesting choice.
Sorry.
Now, so with your Druid, what made you choose Druid?
I like nature and nature magic, kind of thinking of, I don't want to say like witchy things, but pulling on that sense of balance that comes with nature, like in real life. So I like the idea of being able to do something similar with the character.
Did you like my little story I wrote for your character?
Y'all, please play nice with this guy.
Okay, so you told me your favorite animal was cow.
But I don't want to be a cat.
No. I'm just trying to. But that is a true statement, though.
Yes.
Okay. I just need to make sure I understand that. Okay. And so then, did you look at your circles?
Of the moon?
I just picked Circle of the Moon because you needed to pick one.
Yes, yeah. That I looked at it, so I watched videos on it yesterday after.
Did you pick a different? You can go back and choose a different one if you
I
want.
stayed with it just so I knew what it was.
Okay, because that was again when I went into some of those, I noticed you guys hadn't picked some things, and I didn't want to leave you hanging, so I made sure that they were set in case we didn't have time to get them
Yep.
fixed.
Nope, we're good.
Okay. Now, again, the circles for druids are just focuses. It helps you do with role playing and things that are interesting. I do not know all of the rules that your character has on purpose because it allows me to think about what I'm doing. And so when I play with the kids, they're like, "What do I get? What can I do?" And we end up taking a lot longer. It becomes stressful for everyone else. when you have to explain. I'm not saying you guys have to do that, know everything. I'm saying if we don't know something, we will follow what they always follow, which is the rule of cool.
Okay.
We will not get stuck on stuff. I have a nice little combat system that will be fun, but quick. There'll be some rolling. And every time that we try to do something, we'll be rolling some dice for fun things and things that are interesting. Other things you will just automatically, it'll just work.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's just, if you roll dice on every little thing and you kept failing, you'd be like tripping all the time.
Yeah.
It's so silly. All right, so Barrett, you chose a dwarf cleric.
I really thought you were going to be a hermit. Like, I had to put money on it.
They could be hermetic.
Yeah, I chose a dwarf. I think I recognize that Lord of the Rings is not some people's favorite fantasy movies. But Gimli was my favorite character in all of Lord of the Rings. So the idea of a mountain dwarf just kind of made sense.
I mean, you did a good job with, or I don't know if you get to pick the.
There were like 2 to choose from.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a pit bull that I named Gimli because he was short and ugly and had a bad attitude, and that was I guess I've played a little bit of Dungeons and Dragons back when I was in high school, and it has been an exceptionally long time. My son at one point was playing over at Fireflies. He would go on the Wednesdays or the Thursdays and play Dungeons and Dragons with people over there. And I would stick around and watch a little bit, but that was my reading time, I guess. But it's one of those things that if you have character traits of being quick and witty, and sorry, Carrie, that Dungeons and Dragons just sort of depending on what campaign you're playing or whatnot, but you there's a storytelling and you get to act out, and that it seems like fun, and going ahead and starting that up again.
Yeah.
Fun fact about Barrett: lost the love of his life to a
I
LARPer.
Let's not say the love of my life, because
He teared up when he was telling the story, so I don't know.
I appreciate nobody laughing.
LARPing is like next level. That's like
I thought of that. I was talking. I was like, shut up. Good on you, dude.
So just to clarify, that's the love of my life. I did bail after her character and his character, her husband's character. No, how do I say this? Her character got married, and they spent their honeymoon weekend together.
as characters?
As characters, and I was trying to deduce how far did this go. And
Micah, that's when you go, it doesn't count, Barrett.
When I couldn't get a straight answer, I was just like, I'm out. I'm done.
But this was a LARPing honeymoon.
Yeah, LARPing honeymoon.
Yeah,
My God.
To a guy who in real life everyone called Frog. So
that's even worse.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
My stomach hurts so bad.
Thunderbolt, what's going on in there?
Wham!
Thank you so much, Barrett.
He's like, my pain.
But you see, there are people who take it too far. That's too far.
That's way too far.
Because in their minds, they're like, this is all just make-believe.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
They put these over in that case. I don't know if anyone else brought dice, but these
Ami brought hers.
Oh, okay. So then if we don't want to mix them up, you could just use those over there. Then I'll just put these in here.
Oh,
And Zach has, I think.
It doesn't make, as long as you know who's who.
Here.
Yeah.
I usually, after we do it a couple of times, I would gift dice to the people we're playing with. So, since we're not going to play more than right now scheduled. This is our one shot. I already got that set up. So here we go. And you can keep the bag too.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
Awesome.
Thank Thank you.
One fell out of this one. No, it didn't. It's something else. Okay, there's one. Pretty sure
Thank
this
you.
is-
That is cool.
So cool.
There's dice. There's a 20-sided dice inside each one of those. It's a little bag with the sigil of the bad demon god, which is of course straight from Game of Thrones. It's the sigil of
The sea-faring
sea
guys.
god, yeah.
Iron.
The Ironborn.
Yeah. Oh,
Give me a blackberry.
what's dead can never die.
That's so silly. I'm sorry. You have to die first.
Yeah. I was like, what?
Okay. So there are 6 dice, regular 6-sided dice, a 10-sided dice that looks like I'm going to say the word dodecahedron. Dodecahedron is 12. Excuse me. Decahedron is one of the funny diamonds. The 8-sided dice is 2 pyramids.
Mm-hmm.
The 4-sided dice is the 3-sided pyramid, and the 20-sided dice, which of course is the most important one now in D&D, is the big one with triangles.
Is the dot at the top or of the 6 or the bottom of the 6?
The dots are always on the bottom.
Okay.
Dots and
Okay.
dashes are on the bottom.
Gotcha.
So that's a 9.
Also doubles as James Bond's getaway thing. He drops behind his
Yeah,
car.
caltrops.
Yeah.
I've always hated 4-sided dice.
Yeah, they're dumb.
This is great.
Zach, did you bring your 2-sided die?
A coin? I did see some company was making a D20 that was actually a coin that had a ball in it.
I saw that.
And when you flip
Really?
the ball would go where it needs to. And I was like, well, I think you're kind of reinventing the wheel.
Yeah, you've overdone it a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, that's so silly. Okay. So I'm gonna grab one thing.
Yeah, you're good.
This is amazing.
I
You
know.
know this up.
I did. I've never made a charcuterie board before.
Never?
Never.
You literally
you?
made roses out of pineapple.
Mhm.
I mean, pepperoni.
Pepperoni and
Did
salami.
you buy this specifically for? Because this is awesome.
I did.
Did you really?
Like Arby's. She has the meat.
I do. And there are plates and stuff.
Yeah.
In there.
Yeah,
It's gotta be like
amazing.
TJ Maxx or something awesome.
Amazon.
Yeah. If you go out of the house, it's like TJ Maxx.
Yeah, I can't deal with TJ Maxx. Like it
Skeeves you out a little bit, I know.
is too much, too small.
I'm with you.
Like TJ Maxx and Dollar General, I cannot shop in either of those stores.
Bougie.
Or
I
Walmart
can-
anymore.
I go to Walmart and Valentine. Like it's-
Yeah, the one by my house in Harbison is awful.
I can't go to Harbison. I'm afraid of getting stabbed.
Yeah, it is.
Not that bad. Jeez Louise.
Oh, it is that
Literally
bad.
get stabbed there like every 2 weeks.
Well, 30 years of not getting stabbed.
Touche, Zach. Oh.
Odds are coming up on you.
I'm due. I'm due for a stabbing. Let's get it out of the way in D&D then.
So it turns out I do like mead. I didn't think I was
You
gonna like
do?
it.
It's delicious.
I like wine and sweet wine, so I guess
That's yeah.
But it definitely has that honey flavor to it, which is really
Yep.
good. That leaves that aftertaste.
I've got packets at home, so if I find myself 5 pounds of honey, I can try and make some.
That'd be sweet. Fermented and stuff. That'd be awesome.
I actually have brewed a ton of beer.
Nice.
I don't
Always
have any.
wanted to.
I haven't done it in a long time.
I say I've tried. I've made a couple of bottles of wine. I don't do any of the beer though, the homebrew.
Made prison wine in the toilet once.
I have recently just brewed
I make prison
5
wine.
gallons of American Pale Ale that we're still trying to get through, and then I've got a wee ale coming up.
you have like a bucket full of beer, and you're just like, give me another
Oh,
scoop.
it's just
So you brew beer too then?
I like wheat though.
Wheat.
Wheat beer.
Oh, you brought me one of your beers once.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
You called it dog hair?
It's one of my favorite things to do. I wish I had more time to do it.
I really do enjoy it, but you're right. It's definitely.
Although one day is a big
This
day.
isn't the 2-gallon kit, Mr. Beer. This is the
Yeah.
big.
Carboys and
Oh gosh, yeah.
Moonshine in the bathtub.
Yeah, that too.
It's you have to clean, and clean again.
Mm-hmm.
And once you're done the step that I find the hardest is once you're done boiling, is being patient enough until it gets down to the right temperature to put the yeast in. Because if you put it at the wrong temperature, you kill the yeast, and then you're watching it.
Well, then,
and nothing happens. You're like, I need to put more yeast in this, and then
so I have this thing now. I don't even know what you would call it. It's pretty cool though. You connect your hose to it, and you set it in the 5-gallon bucket, and you just run cold water through the cylinder.
A thumper.
Is that what it is?
Are you just making that up?
No, it's using moonshine.
Stuff, damn it, come on.
And it slowly,
Yeah.
brings it to the right temperature.
yeah.
And so you don't have to sit there and wait for 45 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, it takes about 20, a little like half the amount of time. I still can't wait though.
Oh, it's hard, yeah.
How soon can you drink your beer after you make it?
At least at a minimum of 4 weeks, I believe, depending on the beer.
Do you carbonate or do you put them in bottles?
Oh, I bottle. I have yet to carbonate in a keg.
Yeah, that's fun. Push it in there and then you shake it. And then more goes in and then you shake it again. And more goes in and you shake it and you're like, I'm shaking the beer.
So the beer has to
Goes against
sit
everything
in
we're
an airtight container for 2 weeks at a minimum typically, and then you put either your carbonating tabs or whatever you would use and then bottle it. And then at that point it would need to sit, what I just recently did had to sit for at least 2 weeks. Typically it's about, and you can let it sit any time longer than that. I have probably another gallon total, if I would just guess, at the house. It's just heavier than I thought it would be, and for one person.
You can share it with me.
Micah
I'll
said
do
you
that.
I always over carbonated
Yeah.
when I did the tabs, and I would be afraid of those bottles
Popping. I had one do that, and I heard it, and I was like, well, there goes that bottle. So what I did to prevent that, I just spent the extra money on the flip clamp down kind on Amazon, because the clamper where you put the metal piece on it, if you don't do it right, and to me,
they don't stick.
Yeah, and I'm always worried about germs or something getting in there. But the bottles that whatever that is that has the top where you clamp it down, those are amazing.
Yeah.
Of course, I always am like, give me my bottle back because they're expensive.
That was literally what you told me. Finish it
hard,
and
'cause
give the
everyone's
bottle
dropping
back.
off of one, they smash them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the best. I've got a ton of them, but I still bottling I was never very successful with bottling.
Yeah.
So,
When I first did it, I was like, hey, give me your dark bottle that people save their whatever beer they drink. That was the dark bottle. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this to save money, or just being new and stupid, I guess. And then losing a couple, you hear them pop, boop, and then you hear the spray in whatever room, and you're like, oh man.
glass and beer everywhere.
I had a closet full of fermented strawberries once, so
You're
like where it exploded.
Yeah.
I had the same thing with some peach beer in an old Mr. Beer container.
Peach beer.
Oh, I love
It was
beer.
it was awful.
Oh, it was awful.
Yeah.
Oh, what's her place? Is KJ's or whatever it is up in Spartanburg makes a Son of a Peach, and I'm a big fan.
I don't know that I've ever. I'll have to give
KJ
it a
Rockers.
try. Yeah.
So what age, being the youngest here, what age does brewing your own alcohol hit? So I can be prepared.
Mid-30s.
Damn it.
You probably
Oh, well, next week's your birthday.
Happy birthday, Zach.
It's really not nice.
I want a beer brewing kit.
Boy, you really crowbarred us into your birth date.
I know. You know what?
I'm letting everybody know. Cashiers.
I would go because I spent like the kit is great. It's a great starter, but then you're like, oh, let me go buy this, this, and that. I think on the kit I spent $250, and then just all the stuff that I bought afterwards. Like, oh, this is cool. Let me try this. Probably another.
Well, I know I'm getting older when like my wife's like, "What do you want for your birthday?" I was like, "New toolbox."
Okay, you know what I asked for? A blender.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm like.
My wife asked for a coffee maker, like a nice one. I was like, "You're old, all right, let's do
I
it."
asked for an outlet to be installed in the floor under my kitchen island.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I also put on my Christmas list a towel warmer.
I got a towel warmer for Christmas last year. It is the best thing.
And so you put in it. It's like it looks like a compacted trash can, and you set your temperature, and you roll your towels up, and you cram them in there. When you get out of the shower,
that's mine. Yep, big fan.
What is this shower thing you talk?
It's that thing we do twice a year.
There, when it rains and you stand outside to get the goo off.
Yeah. The goo.
All right, Micah.
Stop hanging out with you.
This.
So basically, you guys are had to come into the coast, right?
Mm-hmm.
To meet together, and he tells you guys to meet at the Fermentory, the tavern, basically, at sunset on the day before the Feast of the Mother. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The day before the Feast of the Mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that would be tomorrow. So we're almost there, right? And I brought a facsimile of a tavern with a bunch of people having fun in there. And so you guys have to go inside and meet. Now you have to introduce your characters to each other. So if you know the character you want, let's put them in the
Drinking one, right?
That would probably make it like episode. Yeah. So there's a.
Not you, Carrie. We don't trust you.
I don't blame you, right?
There's
I'm coming in to refill my mug.
Amy's got two mugs at once.
That sounds right.
And so there's a couple of bartenders, a couple of serving girls. I don't like to use the word wench anymore. I don't think it's inappropriate. You got two groups that are here. Also, you have a group of dwarves and a group of halflings. The halflings are singing and dancing on the table.
As they do.
As they do. And the dwarves are singing along, but they're in the middle of a little bit of a card game. And so you guys come in and you guys notice each other because everybody's got their scroll out that you got from the guy who's trying to hire you. On your way in, you did notice the brand new temple next to the tavern. You've been to this city before and you haven't seen this temple before. And it's taken up what seems to be almost a whole city block. And it looks all brand new, like it just got here. You're like, that's weird. This thing, it actually looks like a great big pyramid. And the top is of course gold encrusted, and it's got some sigils on the side. And there's people going in and out. It's very busy. Everybody gets happy. It does not look like what you would normally think with this deity. Normally, when you think of this deity, it's carnage and evil and just cults, all kinds of just nastiness. And so everything seems out of place with this temple because it just seems like it's a vibrant, happy place.
All right.
And so you're kind of interested in what's going to happen, right? What's going on? Okay, so now you all meet at the table. And how do you introduce yourselves?
I see there's there's a scroll in your hand.
Yes, I see you have a scroll as well.
I do.
You know the rest of the small people here? There's a lot.
I'm just going to slam my mug down and say, hello, I'm Silo.
Nice to meet you, Silo. I'm Valorian Kilgore.
I do the voice. Nice to meet you, Valorian.
It's nice to meet you, Valorian. Is it your mother's name or?
Call me Valorian.
My name is Grufon, the Brogan.
Family name?
It is actually. My great aunt, twice removed, named me.
I don't care. You, halfling. You have a scroll as well?
Okay, so I'm going to stop dancing on the table and hanging out with my kinsmen.
Okay. She immediately went to go hang out with them. Immediately. And they accepted her in right away. And they were like, they actually bought her a whole nother round.
They did. So now I am feeling very warm, and I also have a scroll. My name is Safade, and I'm not exactly sure why we're here, but I'm excited for whatever it is.
Did anyone else notice the temple, the pyramid? That wasn't here last week.
You're right, it was not here last week.
But everyone here, it just seems like it's a normal thing.
Has anyone actually read their scroll?
I have not.
I have not either.
How did you guys get here if you didn't read your scroll?
Of course we read it. We're here.
Do you want me to read you the scroll? Okay, let me read the scroll.
here at the exact right time.
Not only did I read my scroll, but on the way here, I ran into what was it used to be a faith lodge, and I destroyed a bunch of skeletons on the way here.
This guy in because he had a scroll in his hand.
Are you sure there was a scroll in his hand?
How long have you been following me?
What did you see out there?
My God, I smelled something, and it's really explaining a lot now.
All right, so for the benefit of the audience who are listening in, what happened was 3 weeks ago, everybody received a scroll from their local mail service, and I'll go ahead and I'm going to read this just because it'll help some of us out. As the courier gallops away on his steed, you pause your work for a moment to investigate the scroll and pouch he left with you. On the outside of the pouch is a sigil that you have never seen before, but is in a shape that you can decipher. It is a rendering of one of the old gods, the sea god, he who hungers, Kanaloa Nakika. That's a real thing I found on the internet. The symbol is not a good omen, as the god and his cultists are wrathful and prone to murder, rituals, and other violence. You open the pouch and inside are 30 silver pieces. Not a fortune, but enough for a vacation to the coast, including meals and lodging. You're very happy to get this money, as all your savings have been spent training for your new adventuring career. You open the scroll and you start reading. It is in the common tongue, so you can read it. It's very easy to read. The scroll reads, "Attention adventurer, I hope this missive finds you well. I'm writing you because I have been looking for help. Especially a person such as yourself who can complete a task for me. Well, a project, more of a quest. The long and the short of it is that I am desperately in need of some adventurous souls to undertake this journey. There are many details that I need you to tell you, and I can only explain them in person. The overall goal is for you to help me find out what has happened to my patron, my high priest, the leader of our church. He has disappeared. Oh, I shouldn't have written it down. No one else knows. No one else knows he's missing except me and now you. Oh dear, our congregation can never know he is missing. They would riot, or worse, make me the high priest. I don't want to be the high priest. I'm not ready for that. I've been doing the sermon for I've been doing his sermon for two weeks, impersonating him, and it's getting harder to do every week. You see, our high priest wears a great headpiece on his head in the shape of a giant octopus, and I don't think I can do it anymore. Please come at once to the coastal city and meet me in 7 days' time at sunset on the day before the Feast of the Holy Mother at the fermentory next to our temple, located in the center of the city. I've enclosed enough money for you to travel, and please make haste." And on the bottom of the map, on the bottom of the scroll is a map that gets you there, and the signature of the person, and his name, because I'm changing it, is Nagrathod. And go ahead.
Nagrathod. What do we think about him?
Well, his penmanship is fantastic.
It is.
In fact, it looks like it was typed up.
Yeah.
He wants us to meet at the fermentory beside his temple.
Fermentory, that's the bar, right?
Doesn't like wearing his headdress anymore.
It doesn't want to wear it.
Doesn't want to wear his
He's
octopus
playing
headdress.
an imposter.
Well, he did 2 weeks of it, and
Well, when I was talking to the other halflings, I heard that they suspect that something is amiss in the church.
So he's not doing a good job with it.
they suspect something.
So
There are fewer little children being touched, whatever,
Lord.
sermon's not as good. I think that we need to get together, maybe finish our drinks, our foods, and head that way. Maybe stop somewhere to supply if any of you need to resupply.
Well,
Are we
we're
here? We're here.
we're supposed to
If
meet
you
in
guys are saying,
here.
"Hey, let's do that," the door opens up and everything gets a little quiet. The bartender says, "Father, come in."
Who's this?
I think it's the guy we're supposed to meet.
A guy in a robe comes in the door. He's a little
Yep.
robe dude.
Ominous.
Little robe dude.
Yeah. And he comes to your table because he knows exactly who you are. And he greets you. "Greetings, I am Nagrathod, the prefect at the temple next door. I really need your help. 2 weeks ago, our leader disappeared. And 20 of our most faithful parishioners have also disappeared.
Oh.
Something is amiss.
And people are upset about the 20 parishioners, but they don't know that the leader's disappeared because I've been pretending to be the leader.
Did they all disappear at the same time?
They all, right after our services 2 weeks ago, I expected him back in the rectory and he wasn't there. He didn't come back. And I went out looking for him, and what I noticed was other people looking for their loved ones. And we figured out about 20 people had disappeared. So we're a little concerned. Now, as you look at this guy, you notice something's a little bit off.
Perception check.
Has everybody in the party seen the movie Men in Black?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Roll a 20-sided dice. That'll be fun. 20 is the one with
20.
This one.
the... Okay.
Got it.
There it is right there.
Nat 20.
Is that a cheating die?
1.
Ooh.
19.
10.
Okay, Silu is getting a little bit more inebriated than she thought she was.
I've already spilled
So
my...
she doesn't notice this at all. But this dude looks a little bit like Vincent D'Onofrio in
I'll put my heart in, so put my heart.
in Men in Black, where I have a picture. But basically, he looks a little put on. He's just a little uncomfortable now. He speaks just with a slight lisp, but he speaks very clearly. You can hear him, but it's just a little bit off. Okay. So he says, "Please follow me to the church next door, and we can do some investigation."
Let's go.
Well,
Oh, I'm sorry.
he looks like he's not right.
It looks like a skinwalker. I say we let's
Pull his
do it.
hood down.
Well, he knew us. He walked in. He recognized
So
us because we were.
It could be a trap.
Yeah, that's the part that's like.
Outside, you hear a commotion.
Oh,
Let's go investigate.
All right.
I want to look out the window.
You see people running to the brewery across the street. But dwarves. People. Dwarves.
So it's funny.
He steps outside. He goes, "Oh my goodness, what's happening?" And so you guys all follow him outside. Let's leave the cups inside. And let's get the other.
All right.
Here's my walking
I'm going to
person.
walk out with my head.
Yes. That's,
You just keep that on you.
okay. So you do
It's like a
notice that
purse.
there is a merchant nearby.
Things in it.
Okay.
Coins.
So if you do need to buy anything, there is a merchant. But across the street, let's switch up. You guys get you guys back. I'll give them back.
We're just staying there. Getting on. Our alter egos.
And this will take me just 2 minutes.
Mhm.
As I'm setting up the brewery, you notice that the dwarves running into the brewery, and they're yelling and they're screaming, and you ask one of them,
Hey, what's going on over there?
"Troll in the brewery, can't talk."
Troll in the brewery.
The All About Nothing podcast is produced and engineered by me, Bear Gruber, and recorded from the podcast studio at GOT Sound Studio in Lexington, South Carolina. GOT Sound Studio is owned and operated by Neek the Geek. Visit gotsoundstudio.com for details on studio rental, production, and engineering. Thanks to Cake for our intro music, Sick of You. You can follow everything Cake the band at cakemusic.com. Thanks to Muff the Producer for our outro music. You can follow Muff on Instagram at Muff the Producer. Thanks to Trent Clark, aka DJ Lonzo. Join him weekly at the venue in Columbia, South Carolina for the Saturday All-Star Drag Brunch and Sundays at the Review Drag Brunch. You can also contact Trent for all your entertainment needs. Trent at theallaboutnothing.com and on Instagram, TheRealDJLonzo. You can also phone him, 803-262-7982. Thanks to Zach King. You can follow him on Instagram at KingZach07 and on Twitter at CarolinaKing21. I am Barrett Gruber. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Barrett Gruber or visit my Linktree /Barrett Gruber. Want to support the show? Visit our page, theallaboutnothing.com, and become a member. There are several tiers available, including memberships that give you early access to episodes as well as exclusive content. Visit theallaboutnothing.com. To find links to our social media, merchandise, and past episodes, as well as other details, visit theallaboutnothing.com. If you'd like to be heard on the show, you can call and leave us a message. Dial 803-672-0533. If the time between these episodes is more than you can handle, check out our partner podcast, podcasts. Zach and I host What the Pod Was That with Carrie Simmons. Visit whatthepodwasthat.com for links and details. Ami takes a deep dive down the rabbit hole in episodes of Welcome to Wonderland. Available on all of your podcast platforms. As well, you should check out DJ Lonzo's Top 5. Available on all of the podcast listening platforms. Please subscribe and share the show. If you're on YouTube, please like and hit the notification bell. The All About Nothing podcast is a product of Barrett Gruber Entertainment and Media. Thank you for listening. This episode of the All About Nothing podcast is brought to you by GOT Sound Studio. GOT Sound Studio offers a variety of experiences: music, voice and instrumental recording and production, video and still photography. GOT Sound Studio has all of your media needs met. Owned and operated by Dominique Stewart, the Neek the Geek, experienced artists as well as up-and-coming will find everything they need to create. Bring your media needs to one of the most talented producers and engineers in the business, Neek the Geek. You can find details by visiting gotsoundstudio.com or calling 803-243-2302. You can also find links in the Friends of the Pod section of our website. Visit theallaboutnothing.com.